Come back here, man. I'm gonna put this in your fucking throat, man. You hear me?
My email accounts are...
True international effort to pressure.
The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know.
Gentlemen, welcome. Please find a seat and relax. We have a lot to discuss. Welcome one and all. I'm KC.
And I am DC.
And we are two goddamn gentlemen bringing to you this and every week a celebration of all things frozen sculpture analingus and fake assholes. Head over to twogoddamngentlemen.com.
Who's a fake asshole?
Where you can see and vote on the Hall of Gentlemen. Find links to our Twitter, voicemail, YouTube, and Patreon, which gains you access into our live Discord during the show and to our bonus Lady of the Night episodes, a new one of which will be available when this podcast comes out. DC, if you would please read back the minutes to last week's meeting.
Casey, as those of you following the show knows, you brought in a Polish gentleman by the name of Dennis Kozlowski, who was the president and CEO, right, of Tyco, ran it right through the roof, profits-wise, but pocketed way too much. Way too much of it. And now they're reaching for how much? Like $700 million? Isn't that what the total came to by the end of this?
Yeah, first off, up for debate on your claims, just for the record. Just want to put that out there. Yeah, they're coming after him for a penny or two, but our guy Dennis, he'll prevail. It's not a problem.
Okay. And I brought in Jace Connors, otherwise known as Jan Rankowski, another Pole. I have no idea. Rankowski. Oh, him, yeah. Well, you know, a gentleman always commits to the bit until the pressure becomes too much online and you have to cave, which is what we learned. Where did they end up in the Hall of Gentlemen, KC? We get the top half still occupied
Look at that.
by Mr. Donald Trump. However, KC, what has happened at the top of our leaderboard?
Mel Gibson has pulled into a dead heat at a positive 11 with your and my current president, Donald J. Trump, as the ultimate gentleman. That's a beautiful thing. That made me so happy. And rounding out the podium of gentlemen, also on my side, King Henry VIII. So the three top gentlemen still over on my half.
Nipping at their heels at 8 over is Brigham Young. At +7 is his sidekick, Porter Rockwell. It's fitting that they're together. It's very cute. Can you please vote them up, people? Come on, not just them, like more of my guys. It's like 2? That's embarrassing. 2. How many gentlemen do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I have 2. It's fucking pathetic. 25%, I will never stand for it. H.H. Holmes, your gentleman, +6. John Bodkin Adams, your gentleman, +5. And newly crowned gentleman, for now, Jeff Wilpon at +1.
Forever. How dare you? Excuse me.
I mean, what's he going to do now?
He can focus on gentlemanly behaviors now. He's got nothing else going on.
I agree with that statement. I agree with that statement. He can't mess anything up, hopefully. Let's go below the poverty line and find out where ours ranked. Oh, yours isn't too far down. -2, Dennis Kozlowski. The most gentleman in the dregs. So congratulations.
Yeah, he's closest to turning it around.
Yeah. Martin Shkreli at -4. There's my boy, Jace Connors at a -6. Dark Side Phil, -7. Russell Greer and John Edwards in a 2-way. I think Russell Greer will take whatever he can get. At this point, I mean, he sued every prostitute in Nevada out of apartment and home. I was going to say out of house and home, but they don't, you know.
Apartment out of...
I don't know. Out of apartment and crack house, half house.
Yeah.
Andre Chikatilo is at -11. Joe Biden. I can't remember where he started off, but I think he's dropped a little bit.
Joe Biden has considerably moved down the list since his introduction, yeah.
Ever since all that news of Venezuela. Casey, I don't know about you, but I got a lot of friends, and friends have a lot of conservative dads. And those conservative dads love all this stuff coming out from Trump's campaign lawyers. And I got to tell you, it makes for good theater.
Oh, it's hope great fun. I've actually really enjoyed the surprising subplot of Fox News turning on the Republican Party, or maybe the opposite way around. Like, all the hardcore Trump people are now out on Fox News, and that's been a nice little side thing to happen here.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Fox News has to make a penny, and if the Democrats are in charge, they gotta kiss the ring every now and then. So,
what do you think we have to do to get onto the Trump News Network when it launches?
Oh, I don't care. I don't know. As soon as he's not president anymore, then again, he's just a guy I wasn't really like into watching.
Oh no, he's gonna have a huge news network. It's gonna be the conservative network. It's gonna happen.
Well, my gentlemanly nomination, or I should say Mike B's gentlemanly nomination, because as we teased before, we're bringing in gentlemen that were nominated by our lovely Discord followers. Mine may make it in. I won't spoil anything, but if you're in the Discord, you may have already peeked the gentleman nominations and know who I may be bringing in. But he's kind of a flip-flopper too, politically. It's great. It's good times.
Rounding out DC, the kind of mid-pack here, a three-way tie with Tommy Tudor, I'm Jay Station, and Jerry Falwell beating off in the corner.
Yeah, his fucking dreams come true. Yes. A three-way with a dog rapist and a Canadian. Which usually is not that easy to tell apart. At minus 15 is John Bulla, falling even further. I like his trajectory. I like his chances of taking over Maddox as more and more people listen to this podcast. Because I think Maddox had the benefit, we'll call it, of so many people hating him online that like he really has people that will like search for him. And like we said, Dick Masterson, his detractor, retweeted it and shot him straight to the fucking bottom. But he's kind of just hovered like at, we'll get to him. Minus 32 for Maddox, and Jonathan Yaniv hanging with him, but losing a little bit of his space on the lead that he was gaining at negative 29.
Vote on all of those and our nominations tonight to goddamngentleman.com.
That's right. Casey, why don't I already teased I'm gonna be closing this out. You're opening. I can't wait. What's your background all about? That wouldn't have something to do with your gentleman this week, surely.
It might. DC, my nominee is a listener suggestion from Jess Alablanc, I believe. And it is, I'm not sure how to describe this gentleman. His name is Grant McDonald. Now, Grant McDonald, according to an online, I'm not sure, forum community called NetBoys. Now, let me give you a little background on NetBoys. According to them, NetBoys is a collective formed in 2015 by various members scattered around the world. Beginning as a small group of friends, it has grown into a vast network of deep lore, projects, and various artistic endeavors. Now, DC, when you Google image NetBoys, what do you imagine the guys that pop up look like?
NetBoys. I'm going to imagine it's just like a whole bunch of shirtless Taiwanese men, like casting fishnets, like out into... Is that it? Did I guess it right?
I don't know what the activity of the people this age in 2020 are, but they have the look of like they would have been skateboarding when we were kids.
Oh, okay. So they're the ne'er-do-wells of society.
Yeah, it seems that way.
The hooligans.
That's what it
Hoodlums.
seems like to me. But it's a very loose definition. So anyway, according to NetBoys, because I had to do some research here, and it's really hard to tell because this guy's an enigma. Grant McDonald is a Canadian-based musician, director, actor, and adult film producer. He has been a beacon of hope during the Great Resurrection of 2018. Now, that's a hyperlink on the NetBoys website that leads nowhere. And when you search Great Resurrection of 2018, nothing pops up. So I have no idea what that is.
Okay. Does it like is it spelled resurrection like R-E-S, capital E-R-E. No?
It's not. No. That's
Okay, that'd be good.
It's clever, but no. He was a beacon of hope during the Great Resurrection and sent the group into a frenzy as they continued to travel down the rabbit hole of the Ram Ranch saga.
Now, when these two gentlemen were originally nominated, right? As soon as we got the second one in, I knew immediately which guy I was gonna have to be the one to nominate, and it was Grant McDonald. If I lucked into you being like, I can't find anything on this other guy. You want him? I was like, yeah, I'll take him. You take Grant McDonald. I was like, I already kind of Googled it, and good luck with that. So, Casey, what is Ram Ranch?
Well, I'm going to play it for you. To close out the NetBoys description, they said, to newcomers, Grant's music may come off as slightly homosexual. It may come off slightly. So, if you go onto YouTube and you search Grant McDonald music or songs, there's a playlist of over 700.
Well, I mean, he's a jack of all trades. He does everything.
He knocks these songs out like crazy, and which is incredible because, as a gentleman would, he puts a lot of work into these.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine so.
So, all of them have some kind of very erotic picture of a man dressed up as some type of cowboy, and we'll get into some of the names of some of the other songs. I am not going to play a lot of this because, listen, this is a gentleman we're talking about, but
right.
But like.
We don't want to get banned on YouTube for playing too much of his song.
Go give him the views, okay? Like
Right.
Treat this as an advertisement for Ram Ranch, okay? So I've brought clips from. There's over 200 parts of Ram Ranch, by the way. It's a whole thing. I brought 4. I brought 4 of them. So here is the original, the one that set the internet world on fire. This.
Now, what am I preparing for? Something slightly homosexual?
It could be slightly.
Could be perceived as slightly. Okay.
To newcomers. So, I've already even warned you. So you might not even think it's... you'll be like, well, you warned me, thanks. But, it's
like,
not...
I've seen Game of Thrones, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Sure. Yeah, this is not quite Renly getting his nipple shaved. This is a different thing that we're going to hear here. So, without further ado, I give you Grant McDonald and Ram Ranch.
18 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch. Big haired throbbing cocks wanting to be sucked. 18 naked cowboys wanted to be fucked. Cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch.
It's
beautiful.
It's musically pleasing,
Yeah.
It's...
And then the vocals come in, and it's just kind of like... Long Time by Boston. Like, if I had to describe it similarly, where it's just you didn't think the song could get better, but then the vocals come in and you're just like, yes. That would describe my experience I just had.
I think when Metallica wrote
Is there more?
I think when Metallica wrote One, this is what they were looking for.
I think so too.
That heavy hit at the beginning, yeah. There's
we did it. We did it, guys.
there's more Ram Ranch. And by the way, these songs, being a 200-something part song, they're not 2-minute chunks. Most of these are 4, 6, 7 minutes long. So, the content is there. This is I think this would be really good workout music. As I rehab,
maybe the warm up to the wedding party. Getting the people on the floor.
Honestly, the fact that we didn't know about this the night of your bachelor party, the fact that we could have been...
we're just acting it out. We didn't even know the song was available. It's crazy.
All right, so
18
cowboys fucking at the ranch, right? So that's what we've learned so far. Yep. Let's continue a little bit. I mean, this is a rave. It's huge. So let's listen to a little more.
To suck cowboy cocks, Ram Ranch really rocks.
Good writing. The writing is what sets it apart from other stuff.
Hot, hard, buff cowboys, their cocks throbbing hard. 18 more wild cowboys out in the yard. Big bulging cocks ever so hard. Orgy in the showers at Ram Ranch. Big hard throbbing cocks. Ram.
I mean, what you want me to do? It was a nomination. It's beautiful.
Did we just start listening to Shakespeare put to Mozart? That was beautiful. I don't know where like so many people in my life have let me down if they knew that this existed and they never told me about it. You know what I mean?
It's honestly the last time I felt this way. The first time I heard a song was like, you remember the isolated Freddie Mercury vocals? I forget which song they did it with, but it's just incredible. Like, it resonates with you, the pure ability, and that's kind of what Ram Ranch does, for me. It's majestic in a way.
Okay, I like that. My comparison would be Prince's Seven, where he seems to just be inventing chords that are like heavenly and angelic on the fly, just on the fly. That's what I would compare this to, and maybe slightly more erotic than Prince. Maybe slightly more.
Slightly. Not a lot of background sound effects in this one.
Don't need them.
Don't worry.
Ram Ranch really rocks.
We've heard that though.
Oh, wait. Oh, do you have a problem with repetitiveness? Do you not?
Hot, hard, buff cowboys, their cocks throbbing hard. 18 more wild cowboys out in the yard.
Now that almost sounds like a direct repeat of what we heard earlier, and that's
maybe that's the chorus. Maybe it's the chorus.
You're right. You're right. But
it's way too above our head. It's way too it's way too smart.
Chorus though, does that not imply that the chorus happens and then there's verses with different lyrics and then the chorus happens?
Usually that would imply that, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So if there's no verses in between, is it a chorus? That's the question.
It just blew my mind. That's like music that nobody's ever thought of before. Brilliant.
DC, let's skip ahead.
Please.
To my... This is... You know what? It's on my Mount Rushmore of Ram Ranch parts.
Okay.
This is number 10. I think you'll understand why.
Yeah, Ram Ranch Cowboys pull into Prince Edward Island, Canada. Cute wild farm boys begging to be fucked deep, 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 deep. Wild fisher boys begging to suck big herd cocks, swallow loads and loads of cum. Trackety Beach, Nude Beach, Prince Edward Island.
The music is actually really catchy.
Yeah, the music's really catchy, and then, you have the homosexual breathing in the background. I started to understand the slightly homosexual, because it was, very light breathing. Mm-hmm. It didn't interrupt the music. The music was still just as brilliantly piercing as it always is in all of the other examples that you've brought in, but in a good way. Not in a, like, oh, I need a Q-tip and gauze kind of way.
The whistle's kind of catchy. It gets worse when it's muffled into a pillow, but it's still good.
And he's not whistling out of his mouth either. That's the real trick. Think about that one, if you dare.
How's your mouth closed? All right, so let's go back to NetBoys, DC. There's some forum posts about Grant, and it kind of brings us through. We'll kind of tie all this together. The discovery of Grant McDonald, once again, came during the Great Resurrection. Member Tom became infatuated with the songs Ram Ranch 1, Ram Ranch 2, Ram Ranch 3, Ram Ranch 4, Ram Ranch 5, Ram Ranch 6, Ram Ranch 7, Ram Ranch 8, Ram Ranch 9, Ram Ranch 10, Ram Ranch 11, Ram Ranch 12, Deep, 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 and Time Machine.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why you don't just write Ram Ranch 1 through 12, but I was certainly going to read it the way it was written.
Yeah.
The mere absurdity of the overtly gay avant-garde, I don't know what that word is, gay cowboy orgy music deeply intrigued the group, and sent members to explore his sprawling discography for hours.
Mm-hmm.
The group found themselves in love with listening to Grant's endeavors of ramming cowboy butt like a breed of ram waiting to rut. The tales resonated deep within every single person contributing to the Grant McDonald Research Project.
This is starting to sound. I'm getting cynical.
Yes. There's a lot of satirical things happening here. I can't find any social media channels like for Grant McDonald. Like even the songs aren't on like a Grant McDonald YouTube page. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if this is.
Well, let's challenge the chat. Maybe the chat can find something.
Yeah, you guys see if you can find. Yeah, go especially if you're on like a work computer. Please try to find Grant McDonald's social media accounts. Thank you.
Maybe they have a TikTok or an OnlyFans.
Oh, perfect. I have one of those. However, the group soon began to become suspicious of Grant and knew there was something much deeper to this all. With help from member Ben, they found something that will change the group forever. Ram Ranch has a fascinating story progression over the course of its first 12 sequels. Grant had... Okay. By the way, they do just insert here that Grant has an official Discord, so we might have to check that out at some point.
We might have to.
Ram Ranch 1.
And by we, I mean you. You check it out. Report back.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll check it out. Ram Ranch 1 documents that there are 18 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch. Ram Ranch 2 documents that there are now, in fact, 36 naked cowboys pumping their huge throbbing cocks in the showers at Ram Ranch. So those are quote.
Well, sure.
Quote from the song.
I mean, you get 18 of them, the smell will carry. I mean, you'll get more. You're never going to keep that number down to 18.
That's true. Ram Ranch 7, this is where the story really gets interesting.
Okay.
Ram Ranch is under siege. There are now 18 U.S. Marines invading Ram Ranch to take Cowboy Bubble Butt. As they go deeper into their invasion, they do, in fact, just end up joining the orgy with the 36 naked cowboys. So you end up with 54 naked men, 36 being cowboys, and 18 being Marines. So,
well, that's a happy ending. That's a happy ending
always
for
happy
everyone.
At Ram Ranch. Now, DC, that's just the first dozen installments. Let's see where the story goes by Ram Ranch 59.
Yo, Elon Musk has invited 8 Ram Ranch cowboys to go to Mars. Shawn Mendes is gonna be butt fucked deep, heard. Yeah, Shawn Mendes, gonna lift your legs in the air, gonna be fucked, boy. Loads of cum, flowing.
It's
a weird target. Shawn Mendes is a weird target for that aggression.
Shawn Mendes gets featured a lot.
I don't know his backstory.
Shawn Mendes gets mentioned a lot. There are songs about Shawn Mendes in here.
There has to be lore to this that needs to be explored by somebody else. Report back.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't really want to play any more of this, but I'm going to play just a little snippet just because the beat to Ram Ranch 72 is my favorite one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yo, huge spacecraft pulling up. It's the Prince of Piss. Got his buddies with him, Luca, Cole, and Lance. Suck boys who love swallowing loads and loads of
Take my
piss.
headphones out.
Yeah, Prince of Piss.
So bad.
God. That's enough, I think.
That's so bad having that like ASMR style, like in your ears. Like you feel like you're in the room. Like you're trapped in a sauna like you're not supposed to be in. Like the clouds like dissipate and all of a sudden like that's going on. But they're by the door. So...
No avoiding it.
Yeah.
So
like, fuck, I didn't bring my phone in here. Oh well.
So he's got a ton of music, a lot of Ram Ranch stuff, and I did not pull any clips of any of these, but DC, I did pull out, phrasing, I did select a few song titles because Grant does have one major skill. This is a gentleman always knows how to market, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
which calls into question our status, but still, we'll come around to that at some point.
www.patreon.com/two goddamn gentlemen. See what everybody else sees. It's definitely worth it. Ask anybody.
I brought you a few titles of a few songs just to highlight how catchy these are, and it really makes you want to click.
Okay.
Raptor Fuckfest. Take Me Now, Bro. Aaron Hernandez butt fucked in prison.
Probably.
Come feeding time. You sure are hung. Bend over, Tebow.
Okay.
Plowboy, which I thought was pretty clever. A little double entendre because it's on the ranch. Plowboy, it's good.
Plowboy, that's good.
150 loads of cum.
Okay.
Ballin' Kershaw.
Okay.
Cowboy Boner. Bam, Swallow. And my personal favorite, Suck That Cock, Gavin.
Again, probably some lore that we need to explore here. Well, somebody else report back.
Yeah, I had dove. I had dove deep enough.
Dived.
I had dived deeply enough.
It doesn't feel right, but it is right.
I had dived deep enough into this. So there you go, DC. My gentleman nomination for the week, Grant McDonald.
Oh. Well, I can't imagine that your honorary gentlemen aren't better than this. So who did you have as honorary gentleman this week?
All right. Let's do this one first. DC, my first honorary was a viral video. There was a parking dispute in New York this week. And,
okay. Uh-oh.
We have a scene.
I got a bad feeling about this already.
Chinatown, I guess. And it looks
yeah,
like
it's too much Asian writing.
It's hard to tell exactly the problem with the parking. It looks like a double park situation.
But there's weapon. Oh shit! Someone's swinging a pipe. This guy is that a pipe or a? Oh my god! Or a bat? Like, it's probably a bat.
It looks like a bat.
It's something. It's something. It's a blunt object that he just swung at some guy. He gets in his car. In this white sedan.
Yeah, Justin Bieber got back in his car in the front. And we're not done yet. The fighting in the street is not the end of the video.
No, they're pissed off. He's trying to stop him from leaving. This guy in the glasses wants... I don't know what he wants. He's got... Oh my god, does he have a butcher's knife in his hand? He's got like a rusty blade in his hand. Uh-oh, guy with the bat's going back over to the white car. Hits the front of the car, and oh my god. The white car runs him over and plows through a glass window going into somebody's business, which looks like it's probably... I can't even tell what kind of business it is. There's just a step stool in there. Get it together, Chinatown in New York.
And DC, once again...
Fucking Christ.
Once again, a shout-out is owed to the gentleman of the video, the cameraman. Excellent camera work. He captured it all. Work.
I wish that he had gotten a little above the action, like over the cars, but it's Chinatown. He probably had his arms up. He probably had the camera as high as he possibly could get it. It just was not enough. So maybe next time that happens in Swedentown, you'll get a good view of the fight in the middle of the street. But yeah, dude, that guy was not fucking around.
No,
it's like, well, he swung a bat at my Audi, so now I'm just gonna kill him. Now I'm just gonna murder him. Good, he's up on my hood. Now I'll floor it. He fortunately rolled off the hood before the guy goes into the glass window. But dude, could you imagine if he had killed him? Oh, sweet revenge. Oh man, it never happens like that. Never happens like that. The guy always rolls off the hood.
Yeah, don't get in fights with cars. They're very strong.
Don't bring a bat to a car fight. That's what they say.
All right, so DC, this video has no sound, so it's perfect for you to give some play-by-play because this...
Ooh, yes. I know where we are already.
Do you know what happens here?
No, but I know we're in Brazil because of all the terrible plastic furniture outside and flip-flops.
Okay. This, DC, is a visual perfect representation of gentlemanly behavior.
Okay.
It's it. It's
There's,
gentlemanly behavior.
5 guys in a semicircle, all in yellow plastic chairs.
51 seconds to summarize what it is to be a gentleman. Here you go.
Here we go.
So everybody's
chatting.
sitting around having a
chatting.
chat.
The guy in the hat.
I said you do play.
Middle guy is having a little bit more heated conversation. Maybe he's doing a lot of head nods while he's talking. Everyone else is kind of like, yeah, whatever. Guy's talking to stands up. Hat stands up. Oh, fisticuffs. It's fisticuffs. Oh, it's going to the ground. He's got a hold of him. Big guy's got a hold of the little guy who instigated it. He's got him in a half Nelson. Guy reaches back for his hair.
By the way,
he grabs a hold of the
other 5 guys.
yeah, just
not
sitting
moving.
there. Nope. The other 3 gentlemen enjoying the show. It's between these two. It's not their fight. It's between these two. It'll work itself out, and both of them will make their way back to their seat when this is over. And the guy in the brown shorts is dead because the guy in the white has constricted his airway. Well, what do you know? Guy in the red goes over, picks him up. Break it up, guys. Break it up. We're all friends here. You got your flip-flops? Yep, got them. Good. Way to keep your flip-flops on. Dude, how about that call? Right back to their seats. He said, yeah, you good? You good? I'm good, man. I'm good. You good? Yeah, I'm good. Sorry about this. Guy in the red goes over to the owner. Hey, sorry about this, man. I just had a little scrap over here. Just a little disagreement between gentlemen.
Perfect gentlemanly behavior.
What do we owe you? That was great. Everybody in that video was a gentleman. Every single person.
That's right.
Yeah, guy in the red that cooled everything down. Super gentleman. He knew when it was done. Like, yeah, okay, we're not going to drag this out. Eventually, someone's either going to get way more hurt, or someone's going to turn to like pulling noses and hairs and weird shit. Doesn't need to happen. The fight's over. Guy on top won.
Not amongst gentlemen.
No. Guy on the bottom, you feel bad about it? Give it another shot tomorrow. But tomorrow, not today. Go back to your seats. You lost for today. Go back to your seats. Gentlemen, very nicely done. Casey, I've brought in 2 gentlemen clips. But the first clip, if you'll play it for me, really highlights what a gentleman should be and what a gentleman's mindset should be, and that is safety first. Casey, I think you can agree in all your time driving heavy machinery, safety first was paramount.
It's not just a rule, it's the only rule. Really.
It's the only rule.
Yeah.
So this gentleman is in some type of sports car, and this is also in somewhere in Asia. I'm terrible with my different dialects as far as their symbols and letters and all that. I have no idea, but I know it is Asian writing in the corners of these this television screen or computer monitor. This car is pulled over to the side of the road, but he's not all the way off. His back end is kind of hanging in the lane still on a highway on a bridge. Now, KC, every gentleman knows if you find yourself in this situation, you put down a safety triangle. You warn the gentleman behind you, hey, best not be continuing in this lane lest you find yourself in my bumper,
Sure.
right? So this gentleman did not have a safety triangle, but a gentleman always remembers safety first. He took a black car jack and put that in the middle of the street as his safety triangle. This semi-truck that's approaching, the jack is underneath his car because he had the foresight to swerve and miss it. And you can see it as soon as this truck passes. As soon as you push play, the truck passes. You'll see the jack in the middle of the street. I want you to focus on the jack, all right?
Okay. Is this guy crouching in front of the car?
No, I think he is either in back of the car.
Is this him?
Or that may be him, yes.
So
yes.
only-
He's a bald-headed man.
So not only did he put a jack in the middle of the street that could hit someone else and then they go flying into his car, he is in front of his car, so when it gets hit in the bumper, he then gets run over by it.
Yes, right. And for my 2 honorary gentlemen videos, one of them has multiple deaths and one of them only has 1 death. So in this, we're going to play a little game. What do you think this video is going to result in? Multiple deaths or 1 death? I know it's kind of unfair because you haven't seen a teaser of the second video yet, I don't think.
Multiple. Somebody's going over the
Multiple
side
deaths.
of the bridge. Yeah.
Okay, and the chat, we got multiple. Press 1 for one death, press 2 for multiple. Go ahead and push play while the people are voting. Yeah, we got 2 for multiple.
Okay,
so there, the truck goes around it. There it is. You see it? Right there, way far back.
Yep.
Yep, it's just a little blur in the road.
Van.
Here comes the white truck.
Oh, destroys the van. That car flips over. Oh, yeah. Look out for that. There, over
This guy run. Look at him run. It's like a movie.
Right over the side.
Whoa. And only 1 death. That guy. Pretty sure he's dead. That was at least a 30-foot fall. So that's 1 death. KC, if that's not enough to prep this next video, play my next video where I'm pretty sure there were multiple deaths, both human and equestrian.
Oh, no.
Or equine. I'm not sure how you say that. I'm not sure where this happened, but it's somewhere close to the equator. We'll just say that.
Oh, man. Those people got... All right, for the audio listeners, were they racing? It was a horse race, right?
Oh, such an asshole. What?
It was a horse race, right? And it ran over the little cart.
Oh, yeah. Ran broadside, chest first, right into this cart. And it was like the 3-wheeled car in Mr. Bean. It just went right over. Oh. No fight at all. Just right to its side. And the guy falls off. Now, here is a tight turn where a wall is. Uh-oh, too wide. Oh, no! Too wide.
Oh, these guys are just getting thrown into a wall.
Yeah, here's another good one coming up. Yeah, too wide. Boom! Hit the back end, and then gets run over by a series of horses.
Oh, boy. Brutal.
I don't know how many people died, but I'm going to guess 5. I'm going to guess probably 5. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's nice that it has the dust, you know?
Yeah.
It's like it did the censoring for you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it clouds it out nice.
The blood splatter. It's just completely gone in a cloud of dust. Casey, those 2 clips feature gentlemen that did not make the cut. The one that did was nominated by our very own Mike B. That is Bret Stephens. There he is. Now, Casey, Bret Stephens was born back in 1973. He is a Pulitzer Prize-winning American conservative journalist. Okay? This man is a gentleman. Mm-hmm. He's got accolades. He's got the awards. He's got it all. He's also an editor and a columnist. He began working as an opinion columnist for the New York Times in late April 2017 and as a senior contributor to NBC News in June of 2017. He was born in New York City, the son of Xenia and Charles Stephens, former vice president of General Products, blah, 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 in Mexico. Both his parents were secular Jews. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, boo, but, keep that in mind. In New York, so that's his upbringing. He joined the Wall Street Journal as an op-ed editor in New York. That's really what got him all the accolades. Got the big money with New York Times. Got that Skip Bayless Fox money. And then joined on with a little bit of NBC because he's very, you got to be a little bit liberal in some sort of way to work for the New York Times, as you could probably imagine. But he was the op-ed. Mm-hmm. Now, Casey, he's, as you can imagine, no matter what side you write for, you're going to be in the middle of controversy, right? There's going to be a lot of detractors. A lot of left-leaning media hate Bret Stephens as a conservative journalist. Strange. I know. It's a little strange. But there are many articles just trying to tear this gentleman down. It's sick.
I hate it.
It's sick. But it's funny to me because we got to get this out of the way. The holiday season, this is from CJR.org, the media today, and the article title is very unbiased, The Dilemma That Is Times Columnist Bret Stephens. There you go. What kind of dilemma? Like he's too awesome? Like what are the Times going to do? Like he's just too awesome. It's a dilemma. No. Many critics have made it abundantly clear that they would like the senior management of the New York Times to consider why the newspaper allows op-ed columnist Bret Stephens to write the things he does. How dare you allow him to write those things that we don't agree with, and clearly you don't agree with? Let's look at the goddamn definition of what an op-ed is. Op-ed, short for opposite the editorial page, or as a backronym, the opinions and editorials page, opinions and editorials page, is a written prose piece typically published by a newspaper or magazine which expresses the opinion of an author usually not affiliated with the publication's editorial board. It's to show that you're not some agenda-grubbing fucks who don't allow for something on the other side. Now, you go out and get one as liberal as they come, as far as a conservative writer for the New York Times will get, right? Which is why he's kind of hated by both sides. Now, why is he hated by the right, you may ask? Well, he's a little bit, he's kind of Jewish, you know? Don't tell anybody, but he's kind of have secular Jew parents. I'm just kidding, conservatives.
Why does he look like the sad younger brother of Jim Carrey?
Because he probably is. Probably is a sad little brother of Jim Carrey. That's a good call. Or the, I got nothing. I was going to say the happy older brother of, and then I couldn't think of anybody young that looks like that because he looks like an old fuck.
It looks like he didn't get the part for Otter in Animal House.
Yeah. The left at Fair, challenging media bias since 1986. The year I was born, Casey. Can you imagine? They've been doing it that long. They've been challenging the public media, the media bias since I was born.
Fighting a good fight, DC.
Yeah. There are 3 reasons, they say.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are 3 reasons why Fair says Bret Stephens should not be a New York Times columnist, and 1 real reason why he is. Okay. Number 1 reason why he should not be a New York Times journalist, he's a climate denier.
He doesn't think there's a climate?
Exactly. What the fuck are you talking about? A climate denier. And the sad part is they wrote that knowing that their readers would know exactly what they were talking about, because it's just like as few words as possible, I guess, in these days of journalism. It's so fucking sad. So they go on to basically echo chamber the whole, well, how can 99% of all of the climate Scientologists be wrong? How could they all be? Because they're studying the climate. The climate is trending towards bad. But there have been other times where it has trended bad and then it goes way super the other direction. That's the point they're trying to make, is that you have no idea what's going to happen. Oh, is there going to be a solar flare and burn the entire Earth to where the climate just jumps to a fucking 3,000 degrees in the split fucking second? Maybe. Should we base economic decisions on that? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. You know? They're just getting the toilet paper made again, people. You got to give them a minute. You got to give them a minute to get those back in the inventory. So anyway, he's a climate denier. Huge reason. If I had a top 3 reason why somebody should not be the op-ed of one of the biggest news publications in America, climate denier. Number 1. Number 2, he advocates a crime against humanity. One time he wrote that he wasn't really that sad that some Iranian or Iraqi, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the operational mastermind of 9/11. So an Afghani, where probably Iraq or
Saudi.
Afghanistan, Saudi, somewhere over there, was waterboarded 183 times. Said he wasn't really that sorry about it. Clearly, I'm not sorry about it. Didn't even know. Yeah, Middle Eastern. Thank you, chat. Nailed it.
I wish they would have still doing it now. Just 19 years later, just keep going.
But hey, listen. The guy was raised Jewish. sometimes he gets a little bit out of hand writing maybe opinion pieces that are not so easy on the Muslim world, we'll say.
Okay.
He tends to go a little hard. Tends to go in a little hard. And but Casey, in his defense, a gentleman always takes pride in his rich culture and his heritage. I think you would agree with that.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely.
Bret Stephens wrote an article called "The Secrets of Jewish Genius." Would you like to know?
Absolutely. I think everybody would.
The premise is that Jews between 1850 and 1950 accounted for an inordinate amount of changes and innovations and scientific discovery, society-changing ideas. Karl Marx, Albert Einstein. You get it. There were a lot. And he says that the fact that the Jewish race or ethnicity, I guess is what they would technically determine it as, only makes up a third or nearly a third of 1% of the entire Earth's population. So clearly something has to be going on. He cites a 2005 paper that advanced a genetic hypothesis for the basis of intelligence among Ashkenazi Jews. After publication, Mr. Stephens and his editors learned that one of the paper's authors, who died in 2016, promoted racist views.
Okay.
It's a scientific study. What his racist views may be, kind of irrelevant to the study itself, because it should just be reporting findings.
Sure.
And it has to be peer reviewed, right? So you want it out there for ridicule if it is absurd. If the findings are absurd and 5, 10, 20 other people say, no, we did your exact study. We followed it to the letter, and these are our results, and it's 20 different results than you. 20-1. GTFO. Get out. Right? It solves itself. But no, the New York Times took matters into their own hands and re-released the article, just censoring all of that nonsense about the study.
Fucking
Scrubbed
pussies,
it.
man.
Scrubbed it. Didn't matter what it said or what meaning or purpose or agenda you want to read into that doctor's study, because there may have been one. That may be a valid point, but you can't really bring it up and discuss it when you don't know who the fucking doctor is, you don't know what the study was, and you don't know what it was saying, and now he just looks like a racist asshole, I guess, for writing that this phenomenon of Jewish advancements, may have something to do with genetics. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Who the fuck really cares?
And
if it is true that it does, that doesn't mean anything about somebody being better than somebody else as far as like human value. What if they're fucking stupid or annoying or ugly or fat? Like, what if those things, Who knows?
It completely just throws away the idea of being able to look at something and make a judgment call, because a lot of things make the same sense, right? Generalizing.
Yeah, no. Ignore that.
Generalizing is not okay. And also, again, the main baseline point of this is that it's an opinion piece anyway. So even if the science behind it isn't okay, even if it wasn't, it's still just an opinion piece. Who gives a fuck?
Right. And you know how you battle opinions? With other opinions. So who the fuck cares? Right? I mean, at the end of the day. So a gentleman not only takes pride in his rich cultural heritage, but he defends his chosen group of friends. All right. When news came out that Woody Allen's stepdaughter, Dylan Farrow, I can't remember who Dylan Farrow was in relation to Woody Allen. I don't think it was. Okay, it was stepdaughter. All right. She came out and made allegations of all these horrific sexual abuses. Those allegations were made. The Me Too movement was booming at the time, and Bret Stephens may or may not have written an article defending Woody Allen, saying that there was a clear line between this director, who only has this one allegation of sexual abuse of a minor against him, definite line between him and Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey. Obvious pedophiles, because there are multiple allegations against them. Right? So, a gentleman always sticks up, like I said, for his defends his chosen group of friends.
Slightly flawed logic, sure. But
Slightly. Don't worry about it. KC, a gentleman, while putting himself up on the public platform, right? I mean, he writes for the New York Times. He's on WNBC all the time. Or MSNBC rather. WNBC is like the local radio station, or the local fucking news station. On MSNBC all the time, spouting his conservative theories and opinions, because that's his goddamn job. But he's on Twitter. You expect to get a lot of backlash for things that you say that people don't agree with. Probably happens a lot, right? Well, Casey, a gentleman never takes even the smallest unimportant, unoriginal, and worse, unfunny slight laying down. If you'll play the next one for me. I hope I didn't get too behind myself. Okay, no, this is an example. It's an example of another maybe offensive thing that he may have written at some time. It says, Palestine, the psychotic stage, the truth about why Palestinians have been seized by their present bloodlust. It's a little...
straight to the point.
Straight to the point. And maybe a little controversial, but you can't blame him for that. Which one of his colleagues said was, quote, uncool, man. Well, this picture disagrees. I think he is pretty cool. Look at that haircut.
Cool as fuck.
That haircut, man. He's in. Yeah, he's in. He's really channeling his inner Karen. And like I said, a gentleman never takes even the smallest unimportant, unoriginal, and worse, unfunny slight laying down. If you'll play the next thing for me. The next picture. There we go. This man, Dave.
Sorry.
This man, David Kermpf. That's my fault.
Got you.
On Twitter, I guess it came out that the New York Times had a bed bug problem at some point. People were laughing about it, and this guy says, "Yeah, the bed bugs are a metaphor. The bed bugs are Bret Stephens."
Good one.
Crushing. I've never seen such abuse on Twitter in all my years. Never seen such abuse. Bret Stephens, though.
Can I give you a quick aside of some good Twitter abuse? So there was a story.
Please.
There was a story the other day. The video game company Ubisoft. I don't know if you heard about this. They have an office in Montreal, and there was a news story going around like 4 or 5 days ago that people had gone in there and taken all the workers at the office hostage. And then there was news helicopters and people filming from their phones. It's like police and everything's going around. And then all of a sudden everybody's up on the roof and people are saying were they brought up there? Are they being held hostage up there? Are they just protecting themselves? What's going on? Now, as it turns out, nothing, it was a bogus threat, right? So it was a bogus threat. Right. Nothing was happening.
Stop making Assassin's Creed so repetitive.
But as it was happening, of course, now they created one of the 2 video games I still play, Rainbow Six Siege. And there is a mode on that game titled Protect the Hostage. And boy, were people on the internet not waiting to see if there was going to be a mass murder before the Protect the Hostage memes were being posted. And that's good. That's some good Twitter trolling. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. See, but that's real abuse.
That's real abuse.
That's real abuse. Bed bugs. His reaction to this. Okay, let's see here. He got so angry at this person that he tracked down his personal email. This was a professor at a university of George Washington. and he wrote him an email and CC'd in his boss.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Wait, why?
Why you would CC in the guy's boss? To get him in trouble, right? You're tattling. Yeah, super dickhead. Stephens wrote in his email, quote, "Someone just pointed out a tweet you wrote about me. Yeah, it would have had to be because this guy had no followers. There were 4 likes and 0 retweets on it when he found it." Okay, so let's take that into account. This was a nothing tweet. But he will not take it lying down. A gentleman never takes even the smallest unimportant and unfunny thing lying down. He said, "Someone just pointed out a tweet you wrote about me, calling me a bedbug. I'm often amazed about the things supposedly decent people are prepared to say about other people they've never met, on Twitter." You can't be amazed by it anymore. It's been almost 12 years since people have been on Twitter. You got to get used to it. Come on, buddy.
That is
get with it.
That's some real thin skin.
He goes, "I think you've set a new standard."
Doesn't this guy
For
get
how
hate all
low
the time?
somebody will
Why does he think this is bad?
Has to. He has to. The janitor at the New York Times will get shit from some bumpkin in Kentucky that finds out about him. Let's be honest.
The janitor
Yes,
at
he
the New York
gets hate
Times gets shit
all
on
the
his
time.
hands probably as well, but yes.
Probably does. Probably does. Hopefully just on his hands. Let's see. I think you've set a new standard. The Times columnist invited Karpf to come to his home, meet his wife and children, and then, quote, "call me bedbug to my face." He continued. Tough guy. Tough guy over here.
It's a rough look.
Call
for
me
the
bedbug to my face,
nomination here.
bro. Yeah, it took a little turn, but I have to be objective. In his honor, tonight I have to be an objective journalist and report on both sides of the story, and he was a huge pussy in this case. He continues, quote, "That would take some real genuine courage and intellectual integrity on your part. I promise to be courteous no matter what you have to say. Maybe it will make you feel better about yourself." That didn't make any sense to me. It makes no sense to me.
Dude, he's
Was that the sarcasm?
He's
terrible.
Screaming into emptiness. This is just
Karpf shared the email. Karpf shared the email on Twitter, obviously, which quickly went viral. He says, quote, "It got 9 likes and 0 retweets. I didn't even at him. He does not follow me." It's like the most out of the least. It's so funny. It's so funny to me.
I went to a minor league hockey game in like 2013 and wrote on Twitter like, "Wow, that defenseman looked really good." And I wrote his name, but like I wrote his name because I read it on the scoreboard. Like I didn't know who he was. I didn't find him, and within an hour he had liked my tweet. So like people are just out there just searching their name, and Bret Stephens is absolutely doing that.
Absolutely. Someone showed me, your search query.
Twitter.
So the fallout from this ended up being Stephens deleting his Twitter account and taking the high road on the way out by saying, Twitter brings out the worst in people. It's a sewer, a societal sewer, and I won't have any of it. I'm a fucking goddamn gentleman. Peace. But then he went on an MSNBC show to further defend his taking himself off of Twitter, which I have titled "A Gentleman Always." Did I fucking title that one? Sorry, I used my notes. I used my notes to throw this at a spider the size of the spider the size of my beer can that ran over on the floor over here. I threw my book at it with one left. A gentleman always deflects blame to past governmental overreach.
All right, Bret, I have to ask you, because there's a lot of buzz about this. You deactivated your Twitter account after a controversy that involved someone calling you a name. Would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, I'm going to be careful with my words because I know these are going to be examined carefully. So I think Twitter brings out the worst in its users. It tends to bring out the worst in its users. And yesterday, a professor at George Washington University described me as a bedbug or a metaphorical bedbug, just in the context of the New York Times having a bedbug problem in our building. And I think that kind of rhetoric is dehumanizing and totally unacceptable, no matter where it comes from. So I wrote him a personal email. I didn't go to Twitter. I wrote him a personal email, which I think was very civil, saying that I didn't appreciate it, that I would welcome him to come to my home in New York, meet with my family, and see if he would call me a bedbug to my face, because a lot of the things people say on social media aren't the things they're really prepared to say in one-on-one interactions. I also copied his provost on the note. People are upset about this. I want to be clear. I had no intention whatsoever to get him in any kind of professional trouble, but it is the case at the New York Times and other institutions that people should be aware, managers should be aware of the way in which their people, their professors or journalists interact with the rest of the world. That's certainly the case with me at the New York Times. My editors are always aware of what I'm saying, and I've sometimes been called to account, rightly so. He then posted my email on Twitter, so people are free to go and look at what I had to say. All I would say is that using dehumanizing rhetoric like bed bugs, or analogizing people to insects is always wrong. We can do better. We should be the people on social media that we are in real life.
I would agree with that final statement for sure.
This part's
is that
hilarious.
The worst thing that you have ever been called on social media?
There's a bad history of being called, of being analogized to insects that goes back to a lot of totalitarian regimes in the past. I've been called worse. I wrote this guy a personal note. Now it's out there for everyone to see.
Bret Stephens, thank you for letting us
this lady
hear
next
that.
to him's like,
Susan
what?
Percio, always great to see you as well. Right now.
Oh, Bret, you gentleman. You gentleman.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude.
Oh. Casey, that's all I got. We did promise the people we would follow up on the back half of Ladies of the Night. So for those of you willing to stick around, do it. And for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, go to patreon.com. I keep telling you, patreon.com/2goddamngentlemen. Get on board. Get these bonus episodes. Ladies of the Night are hilarious. We drink way more, as evidenced by the fact that we have to conclude that episode tonight in the final, quarter to a third of it. So we're looking forward to that. And for those of you who wanted to stick around, please do.
I was fooled by simple keyboard shortcuts, which cut out audio during that show last night. So things have been solved. DC, you plugged everything. We're done. Everybody, check out all the Patreon stuff, like DC said. We will be back next week as the search for the ultimate gentleman continues.
Wolves aren't gay, USA. Wolves aren't gay, USA.
We're going to bed. So there you go. Isn't that a great story, ladies and gentlemen?
You're a dishonest cunt!
Meeting adjourned.